正解。
Rebirth of the Malicious Empress of Military Lineage, Chapter 229, Exchanging. Yimai and Yeek jumped into Jin Xingming's horse carriage. Speaking of which, Jin Xingming had a bit of abilities that he had bought off the servants in the Prime Minister's residence. Even in such a cause, Yimai and Yeek were still discovered by the palace people who were guarding outside. As the carriage ran in front, there were a number of soldiers and officials chasing behind. Yeek looked out of the carriage window and saw the darkness of the night, and the galloping sounds of the horses behind were exceptionally clear, and it made his heart tighten. He looked someone fearful towards Yimai and said, "Older sister, what can be done? If they caught us, one fear that we are finished." He then urged the driver of the carriage, "Can you hurry up?" That driver whipped his horsewhip harder, and the speed of the horse was much faster, making Yeek's heart settle down a little. Suddenly he thought about something. "Older sister, when did you prepare all this?" "If you did not have preparations and get the carriage ready, one fear that we would be caught up not far after we flee. Naturally I have long planned for these things." Yimai would not tell Yeek that it was Jin Xingming that arranged this horse carriage, and would not tell Yeek at all that they would be fleeing with Jin Xingming. Or it could be said that in Yimai's initial plans, there was no Yeek such a person in it. Seeing that the carriage was about to turn into a corner, Yimai looked out and said, "This cannot do. With both of us in a carriage, it is definitely easier for them to catch up, and by putting their full force they would be able to do so. It is better to separate and meet up at Babao Street." "Must we separate?" Yeek was at his most anxious moment. Thus when he heard that he was to separate from Yimai, he was immediately anxious. He said, "Let's leave together so that there is someone to watch over during the journey. It would be easier for the soldiers to catch up if we are together. Rest assured, you will stay in the horse carriage. I will go down first, and this driver will bring you to a hidden route to Babao Street, which we will meet up." All the matters afterwards had been arranged accordingly. Nothing will happen. Upon hearing that he need not get off the carriage, Yeek's heart calmed down, and he no longer stopped Yimai. Yimai instructed the driver to stop by the corner of the street and pulled up the cape of her coat to hide her face before disappearing into the night. The carriage continued to go forward with Yeek. When Yeek's figure could no longer be seen, Yimai watched the disappearing carriage, and her lips under the veil slowly hooked up. She walked to the other end and found Little House before she knocked. After not long, someone opened the doors and Yimai quickly went in. In the dark, that person asked, "Is everything settled?" Yimai nodded her head. At another end, Yeek was sitting in the horse carriage. After Yimai had gotten off, the driver's speed had gotten much faster. Gradually the pursuing voices got weaker, and Yeek's heart became slightly comforted, and when he finally could not hear any sounds of the pursuing soldiers, he felt that the bumps on the journey someone uncomfortable and said, "It is all right to slow down." That driver turned a deaf ear and still drove the horse carriage quickly. Yeek was somewhat dissatisfied and pulled apart the carriage before getting a shock. How was this still the city? This was clearly up in the mountain. Because the mountain roads were rugged, the bumps made the journey more difficult. Yeek jumped in shocked and remembered that Babao Street was not that far away. So why did this driver come here? He said, "Stop going forward. Return to Babao Street." That driver ignored him and continued to move forward. Yeek was very angry but feared that shouting would attract the pursuing soldiers. Just as he was about to speak, the horse carriage gradually stopped. Yeek was startled and thought that the driver intended to stop the carriage. This driver was too much for not listening to instructions. Yeek intended to punish this person after reaching Babao Street. Coincidentally, the carriage stopped, and hearing some sounds in front, it was the driver that went down the carriage. Yeek parted the curtains and looked at him from the inside of the carriage before scolding, "What are you doing? Still don't take me to Babao Street." When the driver take a look at him, Yeek could see clearly at this moment that this driver was much more sturdy looking than average people. Even though a carriage driver required to be physically fit, one was not as strong as this person. There was a feeling of uneasiness in his heart, but he dared not yell. Even though he was a young man, He was not as tall as the other, nor was he stronger than another, thus one feared that he would be at a disadvantage if he take any action. That driver wandered to the back of the horse and took something out from his clothes. He looked at it for a long time before suddenly stabbing it onto the horse. The horse was shocked and suddenly raised its hoofs and galloped forward. Yeek had not thought that this driver would suddenly do it, and with the horse galloping forward suddenly, he was thrown to the back of the carriage and almost injured. His heart was filled with fear, and suddenly Yeek realized something and looked out of the carriage curtain. Yeek finally saw the bottomless abyss and the densely overlapping branches. The abyss seemed to be bottomless, that even if the carriage crashed down, one could only hear a faint landing sound. The night had covered everything, and what was left was the hoof prints at the edge of the cliff. After a while, a smashing sound was heard, and after a while, there were 2 additional pieces of clothes at the side of the carriage. No one heard the last scream of Yeek, older sister. Shin Miao was currently in the study writing at a tremendous speed. She quickly wrote densely, and both of her hands were almost instinctively had a mind of its own. Ever since she locked herself in the study, her wrists had not stopped moving. Mo King stood quietly behind her. Even though he did not know what she was doing, he kept quiet and watched as she wrote quickly. It seemed that there were not only words, and there were some maps. After Shen Miao finished writing one piece, she would let Mo King dry it up at the fastest speed by using the lamp, and the ink did not need to be as moist. She sometimes frowned, sometimes thinking, but still remained very dignified. Just at this moment, someone outside knocked. Mo King let the person in, and it was Kong Yang, who was panting away. Kong Yang said, "This subordinate and Tai Yi followed Yi Mai and sibling together." At the corner of the city, both of them separated, so Tai Yi followed Yi Mai while this subordinate followed Yeek. Yeek's carriage reached to the depths of the mountains and drove Yeek over the cliff by agitating the horse. Yeek is confirmed dead. The cliff. Mo King was startled and was somewhat puzzled. Who is the driver? Is there any hatred with Yeek? Kong Yang wiped his nose. This subordinate rushed back to report and did not care about what happened to the driver. After Yeek died, this subordinate returned. No need to investigate, the driver is Yi Mai's people. Shin Miao said. Yi Mai? Kong Yang was startled. Yi Mai instructed the driver to kill Yeek. But Yeek is her younger brother. Since she wanted to kill him, why bring him along when fleeing? When fleeing, one would naturally require a target. Yeek is Yi Mai's real younger brother, so he is most suitable for a target. I think that the driver not only killed Yeek, and he most likely placed Yi Mai's and Yeek's clothes in the carriage so that others would think that the siblings fell off the cliff and died. When Mo King and Kong Yang heard her words, they were first startled before they came into realization. Yi Mai should have thought about a way out from the beginning, but she feared that she would be hunted like a homeless dog and feared that she would be caught one day. It would be better to let everyone think that she was dead, and since no matter how free the officers were, they would not chase an already dead person. Yeek was her younger brother, and in a normal person's heart, one would definitely think that she would flee with her younger brother, and upon seeing pieces of Yi Mai's clothes and younger brother, TOS officials would definitely think that Yi Mai was in the carriage and naturally felt that this pair of siblings had fallen off the cliff and died accidentally. Yi Mai had made Yeek as her scapegoat and also resolved her future troubles. That is her real younger brother. Kong Yang sighed. If it was a male, then never mind. How could she, a female, be so ruthless? One feared that she had long abandoned Yeek in her heart. Shin Miao said without a care, so when Yeek is living, she would use Yeek to the very end, and that is her ability. This was Mai Furin's ability to add flowers onto brocade, aka icing on cake. Just like the past life, Yeek's existence allowed her to gain more power in the inner palace, and thus she had a deep family relation with Yeek. Now Yeek was unable to give her any benefit and would even drag her behind, thus Yi Mai would not hesitate to wipe him out. A swashing sound heard and a snow-white pigeon flew in before landing on Kong Yang's shoulder. Kong Yang took out the paper from the pigeon's legs and quickly opened it up to read. Tai Yi said that Yi Mai and Jin Xingming had reached the harbor and planned to take the water route. After taking a look outside that seemed to be windy, like rain was about to fall, he said, "If it rains tonight, it would be difficult to chase after them after they go out to the seas. Now this subordinate and Mo King go over to bring them back to Furen? No. After finishing the word, Shen Miao finished writing the last page. She baked the paper on top of the lantern before placing it in an envelope. She then told Kong Yang and Mo King, "Kong Yang, you are Mo Yun Army's people, so pick a few agile people from Mo Yun Army and bring this letter along and follow behind Yi Mai, all the way to Mingqi." Mingqi? Kong Yang frowned. Why would they go to Mingqi? Mo King had inquired that Jin Xingming have a friend in Mingqi that had a good business and was frequently communicating, obviously having the intention to go to Mingqi. Moreover, once they go to Mingqi, Yi Mai would be able to escape and not be discovered by officials. She then said, "You all should follow and take note of anything that Yi Mai have on herself, like a small box or something hidden. Be careful and do not let others discover. Once that hidden thing is discovered, exchange the thing inside to this letters." She then passed the letters to Kong Yang. Kong Yang took the letter, and although he was somewhat puzzled, he compiled, "Be quick and don't be discovered by others." Shen Miao nagged, "But just let them go to Mingqi like this?" Kong Yang said, "Don't fear and view them as enemies." Viewing them as enemies is not false, but this is not letting them off. Shen Miao said coldly, "On the contrary, this is sending them on to the road to the underworld. Quickly go. If possible, it would be best to exchange the things before they board the boat. It would be a hassle to change after that. No matter when it is exchanged, do monitor and follow them all the way and keep in constant contact. If there are further instructions, I will inform them." Mo King and Kong Yang saw the seriousness that Shen Miao spoke with and dare not take it lightly. They quickly left upon receiving the letter. Shen Miao's hands gripped onto the table as she pursed her lips, but there was a hint of killing intent in her eyes. She really wanted Mai Furen to die, and previously she only wanted Mai Furen's life as soon as possible, as a long night of sleep brings about many dreams. However, she no longer thought like that anymore. Terrors had been competing for the world and everyone wanted a share in the empire. Great Liang wanted it, Ken Country wanted it, and Mingqi also wanted it. Fu Ziyi would definitely join hands with Ken Country, and at that time if Zi Jingxing went to battle, it would be a difficult bone to chew. With the enemy in front, one would have to obliterate them, but before that, it is best to make use of them. Wasn't it good to let dog bite dogs? No one knew more about Yi Mai's schemes and selfishness like Shen Miao. A person who would even abandon one's own younger brother, how would she make a loss in business? The things that Yi Mai wanted the Yi family to compensate her was far from gold or jewelry. What she wanted was eternal power. Yi Maokai had been in Great Liang for so many years. Other than the reputation of the Yi residents and family wealth, the most important thing was nothing more than having some secrets in the Great Liang's courts. With secrets meant that one had weakness, so these secrets were most likely the leverage Yi Maokai had on other high-ranking officials or the evidences that he had carefully collected. However, there was one point that she was confirmed, was that these things were important to Great Liang's courts and could even destroy a dynasty, and this was exactly what Yi Mai needed. Yi Mai could use this as a stepping stone into the high-ranking aristocrats, but Shen Miao had pushed for her something nobler, the doors to the imperial family. If Fu Ziyi was able to gain these, he would naturally be very happy. Moreover, Yi Mai was a charming and seductive beauty, so she would definitely grab this opportunity and, just like the previously life, enter Fu Ziyi's heart, step by step. But what if these things were fake? The defense places, secrets between officials, scandals of the imperial family could be weaknesses used to attack. These individual things looked like the key of winning against Great Liang, but what if these things were all fake? Mingqi would make the wrong judgments, arrange troops in the wrong places, or use the wrong combination of tactics. At the end, be it success or failure, their great cause would be destroyed. That was the logic behind the say of a solid dike collapsing because of an ant nest. Of course, Yi Mai would not know that she had taken the wrong stuff. Of course, Fu Ziyi could also suspect the genuinely of Yi Mai's things, but it did not matter. Shen Miao had trust in Mai Furen's ability. She was a very powerful female, and at the end, Fu Ziyi would believe Yi Mai's words. So at the end, the result of the war would be destined. It was not that Shen Miao did not want to kill Yi Mai, or did she let the tiger loose in the mountain. It was just that she was even more willing to see the female that Fu Ziyu loved the most took her steps towards her like the past lifetime and into his embrace, and at the end gave him a big gift personally and send Fu Ziyu to a path of no return. She felt calmer down like this. The most important thing was that this matter was beneficial to Xi Jingxing. This empire under heavens would turn upside down because of this little chess piece. On this night, it was indeed like what Kong Yang had thought. During the latter half of the night, it was stormy till the morning of the second day. When Kong Yang and the rest returned, they were all drenched, and Yi Mai had already headed into the boat towards Mingqi with Zhen Xingming. Indeed, like what Shen Miao had thought, Yi Mai had a sliver-colored small box that she hid very well, that even Zhen Xingming was not aware of, but she had not opened it up yet. Mo Yun Army's people had changed the things inside the small box to the things in Shen Miao's letter, and Tai Yi took out a stack of things from his embrace and handed it over to Shen Miao. Shen Miao flipped through it, and it was like what she had expected. It was all the information and leverages of officials that Yi Maokai had collected for all these years. There was even some secrets of the imperial family. She thought about it and decided to wait for Xi Jingxing to return for him to handle it. Mo Yun Army's people had already followed Yi Mai to Mingqi and paid close attention to Yi Mai's movements, but there should not be any matters for now. Shen Miao then remembered Yi Hongguang and instructed Mo King and the others to rest before heading over to the next room to take a look at Yi Hongguang. Zhao Yang was still here and said to Shen Miao that Yi Hongguang's life was saved, but he did not know why he had not awoken yet, how he would be like when he woke, or if it would relapse. After all, his injuries was too serious. If Mo King or Kong Yang did not bring him back in time, one did not know if he could even live. At the end of it, Zhao Yang glanced at Yi Hongguang and asked, "What do you plan to do? It is clear that the emperor want to deal with the Yi family, but you brought the young master of the Yi family to your residence. Could it be that in the future you will be raising him? What is the emperor's plan for the Yi family?" Shen Miao asked. "What other plans can there be?" Zhao Yang smiled. "Roots cannot be left when eradicating grass." He then continued, "It cannot be that you sympathize with him, right? Naturally not. The emperor is doing the right thing. The Yi and Lu family have to be managed cleanly, then the court would be stabilized. It is just that." She took a glance at Yi Hongguang. "This child has nothing to do with what Yi Maokai did. If one were to say there was a mistake, it would be because his surname is Yi and is born into the residence of the Prime Minister. Let's go along and watch, since one do not know if he would wake up or not, and how would he be like after he woke. If it was possible, I hope to request a favor from the Empress." "You are really strange." Zhao Yang did not understand. "Why do you treat this young master of the Yi family so kindly? At the beginning in Mingqi, one had never seen you showing such kindness. What is so different about this young master of the Yi family that made you different?" "Because of his face." Shen Miao smiled. "Face?" Zhao Yang looked at Yi Hongguang's face. He was unable to see anything special after watching over a long time, and spoke as he waved his fan. "One do not understand." "It is all right if one do not understand," Shen Miao said. "Always it is not the current important matter." She suppressed her voice lower. "Xi Jingxing will be attacking Mingqi, right?" Zhao Yang suddenly turned around and looked at Shen Miao. He seemed to want to say something, but afterwards had so much fear that he did not speak and just looked at her. "I always know that this day would come, but did not expect it to be so fast." These days he said he was in Fuyang, but Fuyang's matter had been more or less settled. Even if it is to deal with the remaining forces, it was not necessarily for him to go. On the other hand, the situation in Longyi is critical and complicated, but he was not even present. Shen Miao sighed. Moreover, dealing with the Yi family was too sudden. "Is the emperor in a bad situation?" "Actually, I should lie and deceive you, but one thought that even if one lies, one would not be able to deceive you, and fear that it would make you unhappy." Zhao Yang said. "By making you unhappy?" Young Lady Lu would be angry with me. What you said was right. The Emperor is not good and the Prince of first rank should have told you about the decree to pass the throne. Currently the Emperor is instructing his confidants and send some people over to the Prince in Mingqi. He paused and continued. Or it can be said that it is not to go to Mingqi. The spies in Ding capital that send information over that Fu Ziyi had already formed an alliance with the Emperor of Qin country and took the initiative to attack Great Liang. If they were able to conquer Great Liang, then it would be divided equally between the both of them. He has such a big appetite. Is he not afraid of choking? Xin Miao laughed coldly. Fu Ziyi most likely had a big appetite after gaining powers. Before that he was treating the people of Great Liang respectfully and his attitude was warm, but now when he had an alliance with Qin country, he even dared to have such ambitions. He is not considered arrogant. Zhao Yang smiled. It was just that upon serious look, one would find that his smile was someone serious. Previously when the Lu family was fighting with the imperial family, even though the Lu family was eradicated cleanly, from the outsider's point of view, it seemed that the imperial family had spent a lot of effort and also lost a lot. Moreover, the Lu family was considered to be a force of Great Liang. Currently at such a critical point, the strength of Great Liang's troops was just about the same with Mingqi's and Jin countries combined. Thus one can meet force with force. But the most important point is that Fu Ziyi knows about the Emperor's medical condition, so he could use it to break our morale at any time. I trust the prince on this war, but it would not be simple. Zhao Yang said. I have never thought that this war would be simple. Xin Miao said in disappointment and frustration. Fighting battles are always difficult. Thus the prince had to personally go with the troops, but since it is Mingqi's side that took action first, creating frequent incidents at the bother. Currently it is just small fight to test each other, but after not long, one would definitely declare war. The prince does not have much time and thus had been preparing for the matter lately. One did not tell you, fearing that you will be distracted. Xin Miao was silent for a moment before saying, I understand. Then will you follow him and head to Mingqi? Zhao Yang asked. Xin Miao looked sideways, finding it funny. I can. Why not? Zhao Yang said. Xin Miao looked at the other party and said faintly, one do not know when the Emperor's illness would erupt and when would this war be finished. If something unpredictable happens to the Emperor, then the imperial decree would be announced to the world. The Empress cannot leave one's soil because one would be responsible for the commoners under heavens. I am not that mighty, but I do not want him to bear the reputation of a fatuous monarch. In terms of reputation he was already wronged, so at his side of the Great Liang Empire, I will help him to watch over first.